What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the weirdest things about America. Now, what the weird? America? Weird? No. I've never heard that before. Ever. Weird? Us? Well, today I want to take a look at this Reddit discussion where somebody asked non Americans who have been to the United States, what is the weirdest thing about America that Americans don't realize is weird? Well, I have to say, as an American, I thought this would actually be very interesting to learn about what is strange or weird about America according to people who live outside of our country and probably have, a fresh, more objective point of view, an outside point of view on America. I think that'd be very interesting to hear about. So let's take a look at some of the top answers here, starting with they have those angry sinks that chop stuff. Angry sinks? What? What does this even mean? I mean, gosh, you know what? I guess this is kind of what this discussion is going to be. Because as an American, I don't understand what we're even talking about. Angry? You think our sinks are angry? Why are our sinks more angry than anyone else's sinks? That chop stuff. Like a garbage disposal? Like in the sink drain is a blade. It spins around and chops up debris and garbage. And is that not completely normal? Like in the rest of the world? Is that not a thing? You know what? I prepared for this earlier. I have Chat GPT. I have AI set up here. So when I type stuff in from this discussion, Chat GPT, the AI, will explain what it means. That's my goal here using this. So angry sinks that chop stuff. This sounds like it's referring to garbage disposals. It is. Do people from other parts of the world not have that? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say this? Many American homes have a device in the kitchen sink that grinds up food scraps. These angry sinks can be loud and intimidating to those unfamiliar with them. No kidding. This is an American thing? I mean, there's got to be other countries like that have garbage disposals. Right? We're not the only ones with big, angry, loud sinks, right? What? This is fascinating. What else is weird about the America? I'm from the UK, and now I live in Minnesota. The first thing is how friendly everyone seems to be. Oh, hey, I didn't. There's actually going to be some positive weird things. Wait, is this a good thing? Does this mean that everyone thinks Americans are mean and rude? Because they're saying they're surprised how friendly everyone is. Wait a minute. It may be the Minnesota nice talking, but seriously, everyone is welcoming and friendly. Yeah, I tend to agree with this. As bad as a reputation us Americans have as tourists and not understanding other cultures and I don't know, the stereotype of being loud and annoying. I wouldn't know anything about that. I think as a whole, in general, this is in general, most Americans are just like normal humans and that are pretty polite. It's a spectrum. Compared to other countries, like maybe we're more rude or aggressive about certain I wouldn't be able to really know, but I don't know. It's tough because I'm American, I'm biased. I think in general Americans are just like most people just want to live normal happy lives and are not that mean. The first time I flew to the States, I sat next to an American lady and we got to talking. I explained I was visiting my partner for the first time and I was nervous and excited. We talked until we boarded. Once we landed, she went into mother mode. She let me use her phone to call my partner. We went through security and baggage claim together. We walked out to my partner just to make sure I was safe. Wow. Wow, I mean, to be honest, that's a little above and beyond. I'm not saying every American is like that nice, but yeah, like any country, we have bad people, mean people, rude people, nice people, very kind, generous people. Yeah. What are some more weird things about America? that's so literally that last one was it's weird that Americans are actually kind of nice. That's what that was. Oh no. The fact that looking at the American news or news about America, the fact when looking at the news, you'd think they are the angriest, most aggressive people. But when you're there in person, with very few exceptions, they're pretty decent and welcoming. Really? I didn't actually realize this was such a prevalent depiction we have in news in other countries. So this is outside of the United States. When you see news about us, we just seem crazy and angry. And maybe there's some legitimate reasons for that depiction. But yeah, like any stereotype or generalization, that's exactly what it is, I think. I just didn't realize it was that like common uh where news around the world just kind of depicts us as insane. We are insane to everyone's a little bit insane. It's kind of a good thing. This would be such a boring world without crazy Americans, right? Right? But all joking aside, yeah, I guess we're more normal than people think around the world. Like if you actually come here, come on over, come check it out for yourself. We're normal. The gigantic open spaces everywhere, so much space. This is so funny to me because I've had the reverse culture shock. When I look at countries on a map around the world, I realize how small most countries are. Like growing up in the United States, we don't really realize how enormous it is just because it's normal to us. We grow it. There's 50 states. Yeah, that's how it is. Lot of land, a lot of territory. Yeah, normal. But when you actually look at like the United Kingdom, it's like you can actually drive to most places in the UK. You could drive places in like 2 or 3 hours, I think. Like a lot of places. In America, that's one state. You can drive to most parts of a state in 2 or 3 hours. There's 50 of those. So we're I didn't even realize like how massive we are compared to other countries. Like you could put a lot of Europe and many countries in Europe and fit them inside of the United States. Whereas growing up, when I pictured like France or Germany or something random, I was like, oh, that's a whole country. That's a whole country, like the United States. So it's at least as big as us. Yeah, that's kind of funny to hear about this because I had the opposite experience. Um, I read a book once. Just the quote stuck out that Americans can't understand how old Europe is. Europeans can't understand how big America is. America's huge. Like personally, there's probably 40 states I've never even been to. At this far into my life. Most Americans spend our entire life when we go on vacation, when we travel around America because it's so big and there's always something you've never been to. It's pretty cool actually, but that also might be a reason why we aren't as exposed to the rest of the world. Not only are we, kind of far away from Europe and whatnot, but There's a lot of stuff in America like that most Americans never get around to seeing. Your news channels display far too much information on the screen. Really? So, this is when people outside of America, if you happen to watch American news, do you do that? I'm gonna put this one into Chat GPT, the AI, because like, what does too much information mean? Um, okay, we have an answer. American news channels have a lot of information crowding the screen, which can seem overwhelming. I never thought of it like this. Like, really? Like, there is a lot of text and pictures, and I guess your brain kind of stopped registering that stuff after a while. that's a that's an American thing I didn't even ever realize. Yeah. Typically, you'll see the main news story, a headline ticker at the bottom, sidebars with information, the network logo, maybe even the stock market or the weather. Yeah, that's true. This may feel chaotic to others more accustomed to a simple presentation style. Really, that's actually really funny to me. Don't blink or you'll miss something. Yeah, I never knew about that ever. That's pretty interesting. This is kind of cool. Uh, Big everything in America, from food to trucks. Yeah, the trucks thing makes me laugh because there are a lot of trucks in America. I have to say, even as an American, sometimes I look around and I'm like, why do so many of us have these big pickup trucks? Because usually they're empty. Like in America, so much of our population has big trucks. It's true, like pickup trucks with big beds in the back for hauling things. And for most people, it's just kind of a fashion statement. They're not hauling anything in the back. They don't work for like a construction company. They just want a big truck because it's big and cool, I guess. That is so common in America. It kind of confuses me as well. The big, yeah, but I have to say, if you live in America, it's true. You definitely don't notice the big amounts of food. I've heard this one before that we have lots of food, and I will admit, oftentimes when you go out to eat at a restaurant, uh, the server will offer you a box at the end to take home your extra food, your leftovers, because there's probably going to be leftovers for a lot of people because there's a lot of food. I just always thought that was kind of normal. Maybe, if we're being real here, Americans are like very, very unhealthy compared to lots of other countries. And the huge portion sizes, as much as I love it. Um, it's not good for us. Yeah, that's true. And I think a lot of Americans try to finish their entire meals, and we don't even realize how big our portion sizes are and how bad that is for us to try to finish these huge meals. Um, but you do get a good bang for your buck for how much money you're spending. You get a lot of stuff. So I'm sorry. I can't bring myself to complain about all the food we get. What's some more weird things about America? I lived in California for 3 years. I made friends there, and in that time, I did living in. Sorry. I made more friends in America in 3 years than I did living in my home country for 3 decades. Really? Why is that? Huh. I made more friends there than I did at my home. Does AI have anything to say about that? Like, why is it easier to make friends in America than other countries? I would think maybe it's because Americans are very open. It's normal for us to talk to strangers for no real reason. So maybe that's not as normal in other countries. So in America, it's at least pretty easy to have a conversation with a stranger, which is the beginning of maybe a friendship. So um, in the US, it's common for people to strike up conversations with unfamiliar people. Yep, yep. Often easygoing, open vibe, social interactions. Other countries socializing might be more reserved, and harder to make connections. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. Huh. I guess we kind of take that for granted in America, but I think that's a really good thing. This is only from a tourist point of view, but I find it weird how friendly you are and how happy you all are. This is. I like hearing these sorts of comments that are like, it's kind of double sided, but they're like, I'm just shocked how happy and nice Americans are. I guess we have a really bad reputation in other parts of the world. Gosh, this is not a complaint. I met a few lovely Americans when traveling through the eastern seaboard, and my British side was struck by how open and excited Americans are to meet new people, well, especially British people. Here in America, like, we are so underexposed to other cultures, people from other countries, from Europe, from Asia, Australia, wherever. We It's so rare to meet someone from outside the United States. Like, it is a huge, huge deal for us to encounter somebody in America that's a foreigner. So we get very, very, very excited. Yeah, I know Americans have like maybe a reputation of also, not being tolerant of other cultures or races, or yeah, there's bad side to that. But I think for the most part, a lot of Americans would be really curious and intrigued and excited to learn about and talk to someone in person from another country. I know I would. So in America, it is weird that the options when ordering food. I thought it was a joke on TV. I feel naughty asking to swap chips for mashed potatoes, but you guys can request pretty much anything. Yeah, in American restaurants, I guess this is like such a big industry in America, and I don't think about these things normally, but yeah, if you're at a restaurant, you can ask for you can make requests. You can ask to swap out sides and foods, and like most restaurants in America are very, very willing to accommodate your requests. Also in America, we have a very big tipping culture. So, for better or worse, if the waiter wants a good tip, they're gonna accommodate you as much as they can. Hearing someone speak with an American accent in real life, my brain just associates it with movies and such. Really? Like, that's funny to me. Obviously, in America, we never think about American accents, but if I were to hear like a British accent or an Australian accent or any accent, really, in real life, my brain would probably do something similar, where it'd be like, that's only something I've seen on television. Like, what? That's real. Like, that's what people experience with Americans. Like, that's kind of cool because in America, it's like we don't think of ourselves as particularly interesting or novel or unique. It's not unique from our point of view to hear or meet an American. So it's cool to me that in other countries, maybe it's kind of interesting, at least, to see us in real life. Coffee all the time. I got a tattoo in Barcelona, and I was embarrassed when I asked the tattoo artist if he wanted a coffee from next door. He told me, oh no, I have to keep working. He thought I wanted to go sit with him for a while. What, this isn't normal? In America, at all hours of the day, basically, people get coffee. Whether you make it at work or you make it at home or you go down the street and you buy coffee and you bring it back to work or whatever, when you say, can I get you a coffee? It usually means, can I go grab you one? Not, do you want to go on a date with me to go get one? um, in the States, it is a to go thing, while in the rest of the world, it is a sit and relax thing. Oh, right, okay. Yes, I needed this comment to clarify that for me. in America, coffee is on the go and you drink it while doing stuff or in your car or what going to work. In the rest of the world, you actually like sit at the coffee shop and relax. Wow, okay. I mean, some Americans do that, I guess, but that is by and far coffee in America is like it's on the go. It's just to get you through the day and keep you going. Wow, I could just go on and on and on with this. This is so fun and interesting hearing this point of view from outside of America. I think this has really taught me quite a few things, actually. It's really, and it wasn't as negative as I was afraid either. It was just like random observations about Americans. Although, there were a couple comments that are like, Americans aren't that bad. It's like, okay, well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. So I actually quite enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment yourself with your opinion on strange things about Americans you might have noticed. That'd be very, very cool for me to hear about. That'd be real interesting. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.